Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics and Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. And boy, is there a lot of fun to read today. Great week, lots of good stuff to talk about. Gotta start with this guy. This is the Action Comics 80th anniversary of Superman hardcover celebration extravaganza, gigantic hardcover packed full of awesomeness. Go to the website, read all about it. I don't want to take up all your time telling you about all the awesomeness that's in this book. But if you've been listening to the podcast, if you've been paying any attention, you got to have this book. The big giant-sized issue is next week. Issue 1000 is next week. It's not contained in this hardcover, but there's tons and tons of great material in here. It's like $40 for this big old giant book, but super worth it. Can't say enough about the 80th anniversary of Superman. I'll be saying a whole lot more about it next week. Pick up this hardcover. Get ready for the big 1000 next week. This is the brand spanking new relaunch of Mad Magazine, the ever classic comedy mag. You loved it back in the day. You love it still. Bill Morrison, who is the guy from Bongo Comics and Simpsons, is now the editor-in-chief of Mad Magazine. He's one of the funniest people on the planet. Mad is getting back to greatness. That's the first issue. Everybody loves first issues, so grab that first issue of Mad Magazine. Did I just put something with somebody giving the finger on the internet? Yes, I did. This is Immortal Man #1. This is a new comic from Jim Lee. This is one of those New Age of Heroes books that everybody's getting into. Can't say enough about Jim Lee. You know him, you love him, you love his art, you love his art classes at conventions. Great to see him doing some regular work. The Immortal Man. Grab that next week, or this week. That's your biggest first issue of the week. Sideways is your other New Age of Heroes book. And then there's all the usual awesomeness. Because of the 80th anniversary, all the B covers are Superman related. This is Detective Comics and Wonder Woman. Action Detective and Wonder Woman usually come out the same week, but Action's next week, as I already said. Supergirl is filling in for Action Comics this week. Those great covers. Everybody's been digging the B covers to Supergirl. Flash is your individual hero book of the week for DC, because pretty much everything else is teams like Justice League of America or Batgirl and the Birds of Prey with that cool Action Comics #1 homage cover. Awesome. Or Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Red Hood and the Outlaws, Titans, Trinity, New Superman and the Justice League of China, and Suicide Squad. Told you they packed all their team books into 1 week. So if you love those books with more than one superhero, this is the week for you. Eternity Girl is your young animal book for the week. And Scooby Apocalypse is the Hanna-Barbera book for the week. Really been pushing you guys to check out all of the awesomeness that DC has been doing with their Hanna-Barbera stuff. New, interesting reimaginations of all your classic favorite Hanna-Barbera Saturday morning stuff, and Scooby Apocalypse probably leads the pack. Great, great stuff for the DC guys, and of course we'll be talking more about them next week. Good week for the Marvel guys too. Maybe you've heard of a dude called Thanos. He's got a movie coming up. This is one of the hottest books in comics. I sell out of it every single time. You're probably already in line at your favorite shop for this one. If you're not reading Thanos currently, you've got to get those trade paperbacks. You got to pick up the reprints of the recent issues. This really is one of the best books in comics, and you want to get ready for the movie. Speaking of Thanos, I want to talk about a couple of $1 reprints. Marvel has a True Believers thing that they do where you can pick up some of their classic books for just $1. This is the first issue of the Infinity Gauntlet, the classic that most of the movie I'm sure will be based on. If you love the book, you have the book, you still want to grab a copy for $1 because, come on, it's $1. And there's another one, Thanos Rising, another book for $1, so you can get even more Thanos on the cheap. Captain America #700. Everybody knows I'm a huge Cap fan. Loving these giant legacy number books. Love me some Cap. Double-sized extravaganza there. Got to mention The Falcon just because I can, because he's out the same week as Captain America. Always been a big fan of The Falcon. And The Avengers Also a big fan. Also a fan of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. You can read more about this one in our newsletter. A lot going on in this title. Comes out every single week, so I hope you're keeping up and following along. If you're not, or you haven't been, go back to number 675 and catch up as fast as you can. Again, one of the best books in comics. A lot of first issues coming from Marvel. This is Domino #1, spinning out of the classic X-Force stuff. You'll love some Domino. And this is Exiles #1. I loved Exiles back in the day. You might not remember it, or maybe you weren't into comics back then, but this is really fun. Characters from other alternate realities coming together, forming a team. Good stuff. X-Men Blue and X-Men Red are your X books for the week. Been saying it's a great time to be an X fan with X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold, X-Men Red, Astonishing X-Men, or Old Man Logan. That's your Wolverinery for this week. Another red hot title. Despicable Deadpool taking on Juggernaut. Love me some Juggernaut. Spider-Man Deadpool taking on some Hulk. Looks like Deadpool's got his hands full this week. Venomized. A lot to talk about this guy these days. Hope you grabbed #1 last week. We still got a couple of copies in stock if you get here fast. Everybody's into Venom. Ben Reilly. It's your other Spider book of the week. You know, this one might be flying under your radar, but the people that are reading it are really, really digging it. Book's selling really well. People love some Scarlet Spider. Good stuff. Doctor Strange keeps rolling with the Damnation stuff. Everybody loves Doctor Strange. The Champions starts a new arc with a new creative team. All your Marvel youngsters teaming up and battling the forces of evil. And a couple of awesome pieces of Star Wars to talk about. Some Darth Vader. This book is awesome. Everybody's already following this one. Don't need to talk about that too much. This guy, Thrawn. It's the current mini-series rolling along. They have lots of ongoings and a mini that's always rolling out. Everybody loves some Thrawn. Great week for the Marvel guys. Good week for all the other guys too. Here at Black Cat Comics, we love us some Neil Gaiman. We love some American Gods. We love the book. We love the show. We love the comic. We love anything from Neil, especially that cool leather jacket. Great stuff. Tomb Raider. It's your other Dark Horse book for the week. I think Tomb Raider is a really great property for comics. I haven't seen the new movie, to be honest, but like I say, it's just a really great character. Great premise for a comic. Oblivion Song is your Image book for the week. That's the second issue of the red hot title. Still got a couple of copies of the first issue in stock. Again, if you get here fast. Always encouraging you guys to jump in early on those Image books. Like Deadly Class, you wish you got in on this one at the beginning. That's your Image book for the week. Unless you've been waiting for Versus. This is the third issue of yet another red hot Image title. Great stuff. Planet of the Apes Ursus is my Boom Studios book of the week, and if it wasn't for that Action Comics hardcover and all the other books I've been talking about, this would be my #1 book for the week. Been really loving everything Boom has done with all this Planet of the Apes stuff. You got to be checking out this one, Ursus. You got to check out Kong on the Planet of the Apes. Pick up the trade paperbacks for their original series. Great stories, great art. Even if you're not an Apes fan, it's just really, really solid science fiction. Can't say enough about Boom Studios and all their awesomeness. Dynamite also has a ton of awesomeness. This is Legendary Red Sonja. This is sort of the steampunk version of Red Sonja. They've done Legendary Vampirella and a few others. So if you like the steampunk stuff, or if you just like Red Sonja, or if you just finally want to take up my word on it and understand that Dynamite is super awesome, grab some Legendary Red Sonja. Star Trek New Visions is my IDW book of the week because it's a photo book by my all-time favorite guy, John Byrne. Yes, he's one of the greatest artists of all time, but he's put together